January, February, March, April, May, June, July. We work with them. We observe them daily, and we see where they are. And once we know where they are, we work with them to get the skills they need for kindergarten. October, November, December. All right.
Educators say enrolling a child in preschool helps them grow both socially and academically by offering building blocks to help them succeed. But here in Indiana, educators say many children are being shortchanged because their families simply can't afford preschool. This year, the state of Indiana has launched a pilot project that could pave the way for needy families to have access to a state-run preschool program. It's called On My Way Pre-K. And tonight, we'll take an in-depth look at what it could mean for the future of early childhood education.
It's a pilot program designed to learn how do we educate our 4-year-olds as effectively as we possibly can to get them ready to enter into kindergarten.
Community, commitment, coverage you can count on. This is Focus 15 on Wayne TV. Here's your host, Tara Brantley.
Without early intervention, studies show many children from low-income families face a greater risk of dropping out of school, living in poverty, and being more prone to criminal activity. The On My Way Pre-K pilot program is designed to give those families a solid start to educational opportunities. Right now, only 5 of Indiana's 92 counties are testing out the pilot program. Allen County is one of those 5. More than 200 families are enrolled. I caught up with one of them.
Count the spaces. Count this one.
4-year-old Mohammed Wah is learning how to get ready for kindergarten.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Mohammed is one of about a dozen students enrolled in an On My Way Pre-K pilot class that meets daily at MLK Montessori School. It's one of the sites in Allen County that's licensed to run a high-quality preschool program.
So we're going to take you around the room and we're going to show you some of the things we put out today.
Veteran educator Bridget Dance is their teacher.
We need to know how many days there are in a week.
Zacchaeus wants to do it.
Denia, can you tell us?
7.
There are 7 days in the week. They come in daily. We may teach them letters, A, B, C,
D, E, F, G.
Numerals, counting from 1 to 100.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Not only that, we also teach them manners and how to be independent. You rinse your hands, and then what do you do? Paper towel.
And you dry your hands off, and you turn the water off.
A lot of children go to kindergarten and they're still suffering from like attachment to their parents. They want to still be with their parents, want their parents there. So being independent and teaching them how to do that kind of helps with that sort of separation, you know.
For Mohammed, On My Way Pre-K also offers an immersion into English because it puts him with other children and educators who speak English as a first language.
I did, teach him some, like alphabet and numbers.
Mohammed's mother, Cho Wah, says she and her husband moved their family to Fort Wayne from Myanmar in 1997. Mohammed is the 4th youngest of their 5 children.
First, he was go to Kenai Head Start, and then there's some people enrolled, but I didn't. Then I got a mail come to my house, that he can apply for On My Way to Pre-K.
The program isn't designed specifically for immigrants or those who have English as a second language. The state of Indiana is giving it a 3-year trial run in 5 counties as a possible framework for a state-run preschool program designed solely for families whose annual incomes are very low.
At 127% of the federal poverty guidelines. For a family of 4, that would be $2,566 a month or $30,798 a year.
Come on over so you guys can see. Come on.
The 220 families participating in Allen County's pilot program are among approximately 1/4 of Hoosier residents who live at that level.
Some of our poorest people have made the most impact in our country. it should not determine whether your parents have money or not, whether you get a quality education.
MLK Montessori Executive Director Greta McKinney.
Everybody deserves to have a quality education because you don't know, what they're going to turn out to be, whether it's a president or a doctor or a lawyer or a news reporter. You want all children to have an opportunity to be the best that they can be. On My Way Pre-K provides that opportunity.
I'm glad, On My Way Pre-K because it's 4 times for the pre-Ks, just regular pre-K is half times, half day, like from 8:30 to 11:30 or 12:30 to 3:30. So this program is very good, the kids learning more.
What is the year?
2015.
Allen County's On My Way Pre-K pilot program began in January. The next group will start this month, learning preschool basics. There's no pass or fail, but the goal is to have them ready for kindergarten by learning the following.
They will know their letters,
W-X-Y.
numbers, counting, their self-help skills, and again, being independent. They will have, we hope for them to have confidence and knowing that they can do it, as they will find some things to be a challenge, but also just letting them know that just because some things are challenging, that they can still, achieve them.
And many educators believe this skill development and confidence building will ultimately lead to more productive citizens. Indiana Superintendent of Public Instruction, Glenda Ritz.
When you get the kids when they're little and they have that wraparound service, we are 22% of our kids in poverty in the state of Indiana, so we absolutely have to have wraparound services at a younger age, and it just makes sure that the kids are going to be developed, they're going to be great readers and have a sense of confidence within themselves instead of getting them later when the confidence is already waning and we're just moving towards a path where we may have dropouts. So it's absolutely important.
Cho Wah hopes to be able to enroll Mohammed's brother next year.
And I will, reapply for my other son when he's turned 4. He's now almost 3, so I will re-enroll him on My Way Pre-K.
There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All right.
It's important to note the federal government already has a program in place to help low-income families. It's called Head Start. So is it necessary to have 2 similar programs in place? We'll examine that when Focus 15 continues.
Focus 15 continues. Now let's get back to your host, Tara Brantley.
Even though Indiana has jumped on board with a pilot project to explore a state-run preschool program, it is actually behind most of the country. Indiana is one of 10 states that does not have a statewide, state-run kindergarten program. If the On My Way Pre-K initiative is successful, it could change that. BrightPoint is the social service agency overseeing the program through Indiana's Family and Social Services Administration. I sat down with BrightPoint's Family Support Manager for an in-depth look at how this program works and how it compares to a federal program called Head Start. What qualifications must a family meet in order to apply to enroll their child in the On My Way Pre-K program?
Well, there are 2 main qualifications. The first one being low income. So at 127% of the federal poverty guidelines. For a family of 4, that would be $25.66 a month or $30,798 a year.
Okay.
The second would be that the child has to be going to kindergarten the following fall. And part of the reason On My Way Pre-K has come about is because our state legislation has set early childhood learning as a priority. And Head Start programs are available in most communities.
Right, this has been going on for 50 years now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Federally funded program, and those funds are limited, and there's a greater need out there. And Our state's recognized that and has chose to make that a priority and to help supplement that the funding for Head Start in order to increase the number of children getting quality preschool program.
Is there really a need to have two of these programs? Because I was reading on your website, essentially, they provide the same services.
They are providing the
preschool.
same services,
Right.
but as you know, our Head Start program has a very long waiting list, or has a waiting list, and you only have that limited one. Head Start covers 3, 4, 5-year-olds. On My Way Pre-K only covers the year prior to going to kindergarten. So there's many more children that need the service than the funds are available, which is why our states chose to supplement that.
So Head Start is funded federally?
Correct.
Solely, and that is it?
Correct.
Whereas On My Way Pre-K
is state
funded
and private donor
Okay.
and private match.
So somebody listening to us right now would say, okay, do we really have to have both the Head Start and the On My Way Pre-K programs? Can't we just have one program?
We need both. Head Start does not have the funding to meet the need in our community. So our state has really put a priority on early childhood learning, and they have devoted funds. Private donors have devoted funds and they're matching the funds with the state in order to put a focus on this and to get these children into high quality pre-K programs.
How long is it going to last?
The pilot program was approved for 3 years in 5 counties, Allen County being one of them. And we are just in the first year. We actually did a pre-pilot that started in January, where we enrolled 58 children, I believe it was. And so now we're ramping up to start in the fall.
Okay.
So we're doing quite well.
So when they start classes, do they take them for 6 weeks or 6 months or a year? How long?
There are 4 different types of pre-K programs out there. There's a full day, full year program that has a first semester, a second semester, and then a summer session, just like your typical school year. Then there can be a part day full year where they only go 3 hours a day, but a full year, first semester, second semester, summer session. And then there are also part day, only the school year, and full day, only the school year.
So is it safe to kind of assume that if a family is in Head Start, they could segue into On My Way Pre-K?
Family can actually be dual enrolled. We typically don't do that. Our goal here is the children who are not in Head Start, because of the waiting list, is to get those children into a pre-K program. We normally are not taking Head Start students and putting them in pre-K as well. That's not how it works. It's also, the application process is lottery based. It's up to the parents to apply. We get several applications, and then the state does a random draw of those applications based on the number of slots that the funding is available.
So who's paying for Allen County's pilot program? I'll talk with 2 of the primary funders when Focus 15 continues.
Now here's more Focus 15 with your host, Tara Brantley.
When it comes to paying for a state-run preschool program, the primary concern is funding. Just who's going to foot the bill, and is the price worth the investment of state tax dollars? Indiana's pilot program is getting help from a number of sources, and one of the largest is United Way.
We need to be able to invest in our children's future here in Allen County.
United Way of Allen County CEO David Nicole says his agency was quick to jump on board after learning about Indiana's plan to launch a state-run preschool pilot program.
So when the governor put $10 million in the budget, he opened it up to the counties in the state saying we're going to choose 5. There was an application process. United Way of Allen County took the lead on that. or was one of the lead partners in that, and business leaders, community leaders wrote letters, signed letters of endorsement. We raised $100,000 before we even had learned that we were one of the counties. So we raised interest, we raised dollars, and we said to the state, Allen County wants to be one of these counties. And we were awarded it.
Those 5 counties will divide $10 million a year for a total of $30 million over the program's 3-year trial period. Of that amount, Allen County expects to receive approximately $5.5 million.
It was the combination of nonprofit and for-profit coming together to say we need On My Way Pre-K in our community.
And one of those for-profit companies is PNC Bank.
We thought this would be a terrific opportunity for us to invest locally in Allen County.
PNC Regional President Doug Wood.
We've been trying to bring in seed money anywhere from $400,000 to $500,000 at a time. We're up to about $200,000, I believe, of seed money. Now that's not just PNC money, but PNC was part of that seed money that was planted. And then since then, other organizations have also put in money.
Those other organizations are still in talks with United Way about the amounts of their contributions.
For full day, full year, 4-year-old preschool, the state's going to pay $6,800 to the center. Allen County's responsibility is 10% of that. Okay. So we pay 10%. The state pays 90%.
The costs are less than $6,800 a year for children who are enrolled for only half a day or 9 months. And there are a minimum number of hours a child must attend.
If you use the research statistics, which for every dollar invested in early childhood education, we have $7 return on investment. Okay. So that is $1 million investment in our kids, in our community, will return at least $40 million into our community.
After years of studying whether education makes a difference in economic impact, I think the verdict is in that it absolutely does. You know, we have to have an educated workforce to be productive as a region.
Statistics from the National Institute for Early Education Research show at-risk children without a high-quality early education are 25% more likely to drop out of school, 40% more likely to become a teen parent, 60% more likely to never attend college, and 70% more likely to be arrested for a violent crime.
The studies have also concluded that 0 to 5-year-old is the best time. It's the most valuable dollar you can invest in. And having terrific pre-K programs, having a great head start on kindergarten does lead to sustainability in education, but also in the economy for the region.
We are anticipating it will be $1 million for Allen County. It will be $1 million. Okay. That $1 million will leverage $5.5 million coming into our community. So there's 3 sides: tuition costs, then we've got capacity building costs, and then there's community education costs. We need to work with the parents to help the parents understand that high quality early childhood education is critical to their child's success, not only right now, but in the future.
It's seed money, I think, is probably the best way to describe it. We'd like to see other companies and other foundations also pool in their resources to make sure we can have more of a larger impact than even what the pilot program originally had outlined. Part of the challenge in a pilot program is making sure that it's just not a one and done. And so there's a fear factor there that if you don't make it sustainable over a 2 or 3 year period, that we'll revert back to right where we were, and the money, frankly, would not have had much use. So to have a 3-year focus has been the assignment all along between United Way's programming and the 5-county pilot project.
We'll wrap up our in-depth look at this pilot project when Focus 15 returns.
Focus 15 continues. Now let's get back to your host, Tara Brantley.
When looking at whether to launch a state-run preschool program, Indiana lawmakers thought a pilot program to work things out first would work best. But not everyone thinks this pilot was necessary.
With the pre-K piece, the Department of Education, for 2 years in a row now, we began with the Race to the Top grant at the federal level. We didn't receive that first grant 2 years ago, and the governor had signed that. And then our second initiative was to have about $80 million come our way in a second Race to the Top grant, of which the governor signed. We prepared the entire proposal, and the day that it was due, said he wasn't going to submit it. On My Way Pre-K actually was just a small little pilot. We already know there's already research out there about the advantages of pre-K. We don't need another pilot to study things more, and we just need universal pre-K. We need to get going in the state of Indiana.
For now, On My Way Pre-K is Indiana's way of getting going. Those running the program think it's a good start.
Everybody that's on the On My Way Pre-K program, they have to do assessments, I*KR. I*KR will indicate whether or not what skill set that the children has learned and or maintained going into kindergarten. So I think that's the biggest indicator that you'll be able to see success. These are the children in 2032 that's going to be leading our country.
In addition to Allen, Lake, Marion, Jackson, and Vanderburgh counties are also testing out the On My Way Pre-K pilot. What happens in these 5 counties over the next 3 years could determine whether all of Indiana's 92 counties will one day have a state-run, statewide program. Educators and lawmakers will determine whether it's successful. Of course, News Channel 15 will be watching closely to keep you abreast of the latest developments. Thanks for joining us in the classroom for this special edition of Focus 15 On My Way Pre-K. I'm Tara Brantley.